Yes, we're coming to a very close to the end of our program this week. As I said, Clinton Reynolds will be back next week on Newsmaker Live. But as we wrap up our Library Week segment on Newsmaker Live, you still have a chance to call us. The number is on your screen. But we wanted to look at, Margot and Daisy, how do we sustain interest in libraries?
Well, the library should be a dynamic place. It should be a place of interest. It should be a place where people, when they go to the library, they know they're going to get the information that they need. The library must sell itself to the public so that people would want to go there.
So who is responsible for that?
It is a PR job. It's up to the librarian,
the information specialist?
the information specialist, to sell the institution, to make people know we are there and we have a role to play, and we are not only useful, but we are necessary. We are necessary to the development of the country, particularly when it comes to education. Our young people go to school. Our young people are studying, and the library should be the hub. It should be the place where, when individuals want information, they know if they go to the library, they're going to get that information. And the information will be useful to them, you know?
Are you in support? Because I know in other countries they say friends of the Central Library, friends of the National Archives,
yes.
And these people sort of assist in the public relations job and the advocacy that you talk about. Are you in, or is there any move in that direction to ensure that we get the kind of attention we want for libraries?
Jerry, funny you brought it up, because we're in the process of creating a Friends of the Archives, you know, and there is an individual who is going to be the driving force, because as the National Archivist, I cannot really be the one forming it.
Yeah. It has
Somebody
to be, yes,
will be the driving force behind it, because when you have these advocacy groups, they can work on your behalf. They can lobby for the institution.
And I think, like the Minister of Education, for example, will get a different perspective rather than hearing it from the Director of Library Services and thinking, where we just want more money.
He'll get it from the users.
Exactly,
the people
right.
who
And I
use
think
the
that is.
institution.
Daisy, are you in support of this?
Yes.
Is there something like
certainly.
that at the UE Open Library?
Well, we have a library improvement committee.
Oh, okay. Is that made up of users or?
It just basically friends of the library, you know. It certainly is something that I think especially the public library needs, because libraries are really there to promote, you want to promote lifelong learning. You know, it's not just those persons, students and, you know, other academics. You want even the person who perhaps is not so information, you know, so literate. He can come in, you know, even if it's to learn to write your ABCs, they can do that in the library. You recognize letters, you know, you start off like that, being able to read street signs. I mean, they develop, when you come into the library, you can develop an appreciation for, you know, for knowledge, for gaining knowledge, and, you know, the limits are, you know, there's no limit to it. It's just the possibilities are endless. So.
Yeah, and I think we need to sort of upgrade in terms of the technology. The latest I heard of the library I used when I lived in the United States was that you can actually check out the book on your own rather than having to engage the, while the librarian is doing something, you know, you can check off yourself because the technology can allow it.
Right.
But I know that there, you know, it's, I mean, I learned a very invaluable skill, and that is learning adults to read and write in the library because of the time they were looking for volunteers while they did that right there in the Brooklyn Library. So there is a lot for us to sort of ponder on and for us to sort of hope for in terms of libraries in St. Lucia. Ladies, I'd like to say thank you very much for joining us. I think you've left us with a lot to think about, and I know that you have a lot of work on your plate to ensure that the users of the library get as much as they can from it, as much as the effort you put in to ensure that we enjoy it. So thank you very much. I wish you all the best for Library Week, And I would just like to inform our listeners that, of course, Clinton Reynolds will be back next week. Let me thank Junior and his crew for the fantastic job they've done over the past 2 programs I've been here. Clinton, your audience is waiting for you. I'm Jerry George saying thank you very much for being with me tonight. And some of the time will be on News Maker Live. Good night.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.